Hello friends and families, it's your boy finally back with another custom keyboard video, and for today we are talking about the hottest board in town right now, the Neo65. To give you a little bit of context, the one who designed this board goes by the name of Neo, but he works in partnership with Krytox for the manufacturing part, so you can kind of think of it as a cousin of QK boards or something. For the Neo65, he wants to make something that is affordable and doesn't require foams to be good. Well, compared to some of the earlier QK releases at least, and there you have it. But let's go through what you can get for buying the package. So first, you get the box, and after opening it up, you'll find the keyboard itself, but we'll be talking about this later. Let's go through the parts first. So it's going to come with, you know, the usual ones, the keycap switch puller, a screw for you to opening up the case, and the USB cable. And you have, these are the fits and extra screws. And you also get ribbon cables. And these are the O-ring for O-ring mounting and some PCB gaskets, because this board supports dual mounting, and I'll go through that a little bit later. And you also get steps. And last but not least, well, you know, the usual trifecta foams of case foam, plate foam, and your IXP sheet. Yeah. So of course, for the bundle, you also get the keyboard case itself, and also, you know, the usual PCB, plate, and steps configuration, which I went ahead and fixed everything up by myself before I filmed this video. And yes, the steps are not TX steps despite looking like one. These are actually, they call Neo clip-ins, because the Neo, he just include that as part of the package, because if they don't, that's another 75 or 80 down the hole for a set of TX. Now let's talk about the case first. I went with the E-white case plus the PVD SS mirror weight, supposedly in the dust colorway, but the one they gave me is chroma, but I'm fine with that. If you haven't noticed yet, this is actually a one-piece case, so there's no like top and bottom separated cases. But in contrary to the likes of, like, you know, BANGER, which is also a one-piece case that uses cast iron aluminum, the Neo65 is done with CNC for cleaner look. And for installations, you just need to take off the two screws at the back, which is these two right here. Then you see the daughter board in the middle and the two foam pads, which will or will not be there since they are there for the batteries for the tri-mode people, and QK did mention that the pads are complimentary, so well, if you get it, then you're the lucky one. So moving on to the mounting style, Neo made it to host either the PCB gasket mount or the O-ring mount with 50A by default, and you can also purchase another optional 30A if you like a more softer feel. Since installation differs slightly different on which style you're going to use, let's just say I went for the PCB gasket mount, which you can slowly put the board top down while making sure the ribbon cables go through the hole, and please make sure the board is not slanted or anything. Then head to the back, slightly tuck the ribbon cable with the front blue part about 50% in, then you can slightly push the clip to lock it into place. If you want to use the O-ring mount, just make sure you do the ribbon cable pass through first. Then slightly angle the board upwards so that the O-ring can slide into the cutout on the bottom side, and you have to use some force to push the board down since the friction fit is quite tight, so you literally just go like the cable first, 1, 2, and 3, slide it in like that. Now for the switches, I have a set of Cherry MX rounds, harvest from fellow Cocky's Ducky 1 TKL that he has not used for like 10 plus years, so I give it a simple cleaning, lube it up on the stems, then change the spring to Geon 22mm, 57.5 grams single stage for this increased tactility. For the keycaps, if you've seen my Tofu 65 review, then you know I'm a sucker for white and blue combo, so yes, the Aifei Pyga blue is back. Yay! So now let's quickly assemble the thing and go straight to the sound test. The PCB gasket mount is how I like this board because the entire sound profile is much more defined and I can hear the cherry scratch loudly alongside the poppiness brought by the ABS keycaps, thus gearing towards the clad profile in general. I also tested the O-ring mount prior to this, and to my surprise it actually goes deeper and elevates the sound of the spacebar even more, but I do feel there's a bit too much metallic thing given that this is an aluminum plate, so if you are a PC plate user then that's another outcome. Therefore, I think that for those who want thuggier setups and spacebar being louder than the alphas, this is the choice to go. But citing some Discord members tips and also by some other reviewers, you can also go O-ring plus 2 gasket nubs at the spacebar for the combined advantage. For my own outcome, it feels better than pure O-ring mount as there's less metallic pink in the spacebar part, but I still settle for the gasket mount instead. Well, I just like cherry switches, what can I do? So now let's shift things to like other nitty-gritty. In terms of parts, I like that they give a second ribbon cable to give everyone a second chance in case they F up the first one. The Neo steps for my unit require a bit of tuning and it is not too harsh as it took me about 10 minutes to settle it. So overall, I think the Neo65 is just a bang of a board in terms of price and its capability to provide different types of sound profiles, especially in the clack department where the natural resonance of materials and the shape of the board often dictates that aspect in majorly, while the thug and creamy often then not just require you to stuff foams. And the double mounting style means more exploration and learning for the newcomers in the hobby. The simple aesthetics means less time sitting in the CNC machine for, cool side profiles and chamfers. Truthfully, the Neo65, it ain't got nothing. But this contributes to its rather low entry price point, which I spent about $560 for the wire hot swap plus PVD mirror weight, and it can boil down to about $500 if you just went for the most basic things, simple colors and brass weight. The one-piece design means simple installation, and I have to give Neo a thumbs up in streamlining the use of ribbon cables with a relatively lower chance of getting it damaged since the cable just wraps around the back and it has that hole to help you guide through it. But due to this, please always remember to detach the back part of the ribbon cable before you take out the PCB. Now I'm sure that you understand the rules of you get what you pay. There's a small rouse in the Rebuild keyboard server, which is the official vendor for Malaysia. People receive scuffed units like this and this on the kit itself or the weight, and one of them didn't even have the daughter board, and they have no choice but to file for help and can't even build it upon delivery. And that sucks a lot. But this is the kind of the reality in terms of things that seems way too good for its value because you're bound to bear some gambling risks that you can't control. And I'm just the lucky one who got his unit in A stock, but they still technically got my order wrong on the weight thingy. So TLDR, the Neo65 is freaking great at this price point. You're okay with 65%, you got about $550 to spend on the kit, pick this one, end of story. What if you don't want to bear the risk of failed QC units? Luckily, some shops in Malaysia like PC Mod, they did buy their own in-stock extras so you can physically go into their shop and verify them to be scuff-free on premise. Yeah, so that's all for this video. If you got yourself one as well, share your build with me down in the comments below, and if you need any parts I used, check it out in the links below. Peace.